Hello everybody, my name is Patrick, and today I'm going to tell you the top 5 reasons why your criticisms are invalid according to traditional martial artists. Now, some time ago, I did a video called Top 10 Reasons Why MMA Sucks According to Traditional Martial Artists. If you haven't seen it, I'll link that video in the description below. But basically the point of it was that a lot of traditional martial artists give the same reasons over and over and over again in pretty much every debate I've noticed. Like, they don't have an original thought in their fucking head. So they like to give the same comebacks, the same arguments, the same everything. Doesn't matter where you go, what studio you go to, it's always the same fucking arguments. Different practitioners, doesn't fucking matter. Same argument, might as well be the same person. And so when you point out, hey, you know, your style doesn't make sense and it's kind of, like, all this shit wouldn't work in an actual fighting scenario, they always have the same comebacks to everybody, no matter what it is. And so today, I'm gonna go through them all and basically explain why their explanations are bullshit. Okay, reason number 1 why your criticisms are invalid according to traditional martial artists is because you're too good at fighting. Whenever professional MMA fighters like Michael Bisping or Miesha Tate or other professional fighters basically say, hey, listen, this shit doesn't work, typically traditional martial artists will come back with, well, those guys are too good at fighting. They're the 1%. They'd be good at fighting no matter what they practiced. We're the everyman, okay? None of us can be as amazing as them. Again, the style that they practice is incidental. They could be Aikido instructors and Wing Chun practitioners, and they'd be just as deadly. But we're just regular, everyday people. We can't hope to aspire to the level that they have. And granted, while there is some truth to that, not everyone can hope to aspire to the level of a Michael Bisping or Miesha Tate. I can guarantee you that if they did nothing but Wing Chun and Aikido and shit like that for the entirety of their career, they wouldn't have gotten nearly as far as they did. Like, primarily why they got as far as they did is because of the styles that they practice, which is why they advocate for the styles that they practice so much. And unlike arts like Wing Chun and Aikido, they've been backed up by evidence in actual fights. Reason number 2 why your criticisms are invalid according to traditional martial arts is because you are too bad at fighting. Like, yeah, you're an MMA fighter, but you're not Miesha Tate or Michael Bisping level, so you have no right to talk about fucking fighting. It's kind of the exact opposite argument of the first one. It's the idea that because you're not a top tier level fighter, 1%er, you have no right to criticize other fucking fighting styles. Because I guess these fucking chi masters think of themselves on the same level as Michael Bisping or Miesha Tate. Very likely. That's all there is to be said about that one, is these dudes, they have, like, egos so inflated that they think that they're, you know, just as good as the top fighters in the fucking world, and if you're anything less than that, then you don't have the right to criticize any style or whatever. Reason number 3 why your criticisms are invalid when it comes according to traditional martial artists is because it's for the street, not the cage. So again, we're going through this again, you know, just typical, oh, they don't let me bite or kick in the groin or spinal attack in the fucking cage. You know, as if all you would need to do to incapacitate a professional fighter is, like, with no technique or skill, just try and claw his eyes out or kick him in the balls and he will be completely helpless before you. You know, it's been said by multiple other people and I'm just reiterating it, you know, the techniques that we practice every day in MMA are just as applicable to the fucking street. In fact, even more applicable, because instead of using them on another trained person, we're using them on an untrained person, most likely. So it's probably going to be a lot easier in that sense. You know, not to mention a trained MMA fighter, you know, again, they're acting like trained MMA fighters can't or won't claw your eyes or kick you in the balls. Anything that like any illegal moves that you try to do a trained MMA fighter to a trained MMA fighter, I guarantee he can do back to you twice as bad. Reason number 4 why your criticisms are invalid is because you haven't trained in my style before. And if you have, you haven't done it long enough, okay? I've been training Aikido for fucking 30 years, and if you've only been training it for 28, guess what? You have no right to criticize my Aikido. You know, obviously this is bullshit. You don't have to train in something for at least 5 to 8 fucking years to realize, wait a minute, this sucks. So that's like you drive a perfectly new car, right? And this style of car is the only car that you've driven. Now you drive a busted old beat up pickup truck. And you say, hey, this truck's kind of a piece of shit. Well, you've never driven trucks before. You don't know that. You know, when you study actual fighting, you learn body mechanics and how human beings will respond accordingly. So you don't necessarily need to train in a style to know that it's bullshit right a fucking way. Like if you train for jiu-jitsu or wrestling for 6 months, let's just say, and then you just look at Aikido, you'll be able to tell that something's not right, because that's not how you've experienced people grapple in a live situation. Or again, going back to it, you know, if you're somebody like me who trained in Wing Chun for a couple fucking years, and then you realize, hey, this isn't actually applicable to a real fighting situation, well then you get people, Wing Chun dudes crawling out the woodwork being like, you just haven't done it long enough, retard. I've been doing Wing Chun for 10 years, and I can tell you from my 10 years of experience that it is fucking applicable. Sorry if I don't want to train in a style for 10 years before I start to get good. And reason number 5 why your criticisms are invalid according to traditional martial artists is because it's not meant to be used on trained fighters. It's meant to be used on untrained fighters. And this is stupid for so many fucking reasons. Firstly, are you telling me that you're like a bully, essentially? Like, well, yeah, obviously, it doesn't work on trained people. I only fight untrained people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Not to mention, what if you accidentally come across, you know, a fucking bullheaded, like, filled with rage MMA fighter or just in general someone who does know how to fight, and now, you have to fucking fight them. But my style doesn't work on people who know how to fight. I might be in some trouble here. That's why you want to train in the shit that is proven to work against all types of people, trained or untrained. But yeah, guys, that's just been my 2 cents on the subject. Feel free to let me know how you feel about these comebacks or arguments down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.